Well, the cold weather, it's hard on us, hard on our bodies, sometimes our mood.
That's right. Our cars don't like the extreme temperatures any more than we do. So what can we do? We'll talk about that in question number 3.
Question 3, to tackle that and 2 other automobile issues, welcome back certified transmission owner Peter Fink. Good to see you, Peter.
Always great to be here.
It is tough. We're starting to think about getting out there to get our car warmed up before we drive it in this cold weather. Man,
Definitely, definitely. I mean, just like you started out with, we don't like it, your cars don't like it, you need to warm them up a little bit and get ready to go.
No skipping ahead.
No,
skipping ahead. That's question
number
3.
Question number 3. You know, she's an executive producer. So
I got to keep things on
these
track.
things in order. Let's start with Patrick's question. He comes up first. I obviously know what the D, R, and N are on my gear shift, but I also have a D3, then 2, and then a 1. What are those for? Should I be using them?
Well, great question. Okay, the D3, 2, and 1 is where you're going to select the transmission that it won't go past those gears. Okay, why is that important? Well, if you need engine braking, okay, let's say if you're up in the mountains, okay, and you're pulling a trailer or something, you might pull it down to 2nd or D3, okay, and then it won't let it upshift past that particular place. Okay, you'll go 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Okay, sometimes you only want 2nd gear, okay, that you don't want it to upshift for some reason or not. You don't use it a lot. It's usually going to be used more off of off-road situations, possibly in ice and snow a little bit, okay, because anytime you're going along and like if it's slippery out and you let off the gas, the transmission's going to want to upshift to that next gear. Wouldn't be a bad idea to shift it down to D3 or even and leave it into 2nd and it'll only go 1st and 2nd, as long as you're not going fast, okay? Don't be trying to drive 60 miles an hour in 2nd gear.
Then you have transmission problems.
I mean, well, actually not the transmission won't hurt it, but actually it's hard on the engine, okay, if you're over revving it, okay, and stuff. So it's for when you're doing slower speeds and you don't want the transmission to upshift or downshift.
Gotcha.
All right, well, all of our questions could be kind of cold related in some way. This one certainly is. It comes from Vince. The heat in my 2006 Ford Taurus only works well when I'm pressing on the gas. It cools down when I'm idling like at a red light. That doesn't sound fun. Any idea what the problem is on this one, Peter?
To act up. Of course, this is when we do find it, okay? We got one of 2 possibilities here. Check your antifreeze to make sure that it's up to a proper level. If it's low, a lot of times it won't work when you're just sitting there idling, okay? And then when you get going, the water pump, it's always circulating, but for some reason, it starts moving more around and your heater will. The second option is you got a bad thermostat, okay, and stuff. And I would possibly suspect that's maybe what it is. It's a fairly common problem to have a stuck thermostat. They usually always stick open, and what that means is it takes forever for the car to heat up and your heater doesn't work that well, okay, and stuff. So it's probably going to be one of those 2 things, okay? Now, if it's really low on antifreeze, you might have a leak and you got to check your hoses. Of course, on an older car, you could have a bad intake manifold or a bad head gasket, but usually that's going to give you running problems also, okay, and different things. So I'm not trying to scare you here, okay? But if it is low, it did go somewhere because it's a closed system. It's not like your gasoline where you're going to keep using it. It should never go away, okay, and stuff, you know. So check the simple things first. If it loses it again, you're going to have to check out why it's losing it.
Yep.
And important to get that checked out soon because it's only December.
All right, so here's that third question that Kayla was so worried about us getting too early.
That's right.
Does my car need to be warmed up when it's below a certain temperature? Does it matter if it's been in the garage?
All right, great question. In my opinion, they do say the newer cars, obviously they do start easier than the old ones because of fuel injection, okay, and stuff, and the carburetor don't have them anymore because of the fuel injection. And so they'll start up, and so we have a bad tendency of wanting to take off immediately. We're always late. We leave too late. Okay, we're in a hurry.
Mike knows a little
all
bit
them
about
kind
that.
of things,
Well,
okay.
But
honestly, you should, okay. If it's parked in the garage, you don't need to. I mean, you know, 5-10 seconds is fine. I mean, don't the second it goes. I mean, there's some people that throw it right into gear. Give it 5 or 10 seconds, even if it's in the garage. If it's outside, you don't need to do the 10-15 minute deal. But you know what? An extra minute or 2 really does wonders. It really does help it, okay, and stuff. If you've been at work all day and you're going home, again, let it start for a minute before you go. Dial in the radio station, listen to it, you know, get ready, your satellite, whatever, you know, just be comfortable for a second, you know, check your Texas, okay, and then in a minute go ahead and go, you know, so.
Yeah, fantastic. Real quick, we have a little bit extra time. I want to take 1 minute to talk about certified transmission, job done right at the right place. That's not just a tagline, right? That's a model that
It's a model that we've had that forever, okay? I mean, obviously it started a long time, and everyone wants to do the job right. I do get that, okay, and stuff, but you know, auto repair is a tough deal, a tough business, okay? There's so many things, okay, you know, I mean, you can say, man, I just spent this much money, and I'm not talking transmissions, any repair, and you say, I just had it in the shop, and 3 days later, my check engine light comes back on. Well, it could be a completely different system. Unfortunately, there's so many systems on the car anymore, and it's really important for proper maintenance, okay, and stuff like this. But yes, my guys try really hard. We road test a car several times to make sure that it's good. We hook up scanners to it. We're checking everything we possibly can. We also will advise you if we find other stuff besides transmission stuff. Now, we don't fix them, okay, because we only specialize in transmissions, but if we see your brakes are bad or something, or an alignment or a safety issue, we're going to definitely let you know about it, and that way you can get it repaired properly. So it's really more than just the transmission also.
Yeah, 5 area locations. CertifiedTransmission.com is the website that you can go to. Peter, thanks a lot. Have a great Christmas.
All right,
Christmas,
Merry
sir.
Christmas,
We'll see you
Merry
after the
Christmas
holidays.
to the
We'll
whole
see-
crowd
see
and
you next
everything out
year.
there. Definitely,
we'll see you
yeah,
next year.
it's always time to say that time, you know,
Exactly.
definitely.
Thanks, Peter. Your question could be featured